Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Tuesday, October the 24th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our trade plans for the day. Our trade plans are our hypotheses. We do have multiple trade plans in order to have a plan in place. We do not know what the market's going to do. We can therefore create scenarios based on normal auction and then wait to see what the market's showing us, who's in control, and which plan best suits the market, and then we execute on that plan. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email, quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the pre-market, in the go-to session, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So looking at yesterday we basically had a take-back day. It started out, it looked like it was going to be hypo 1 with the move down to the VPOC and then a move and a breakout, but they failed to hold the breakout, and then they came down. And then I was thinking, well, we're probably going to be in hypo 3, which was a sideways consolidation as we fight the high. And we did that for most of the day, and then they started selling off in the afternoon, and this turned into hypo 3, which was the hypo 4, which was the take back day, and a bit of a trend day down. We did close down at the low. We put in a weak low at the 62, the RTH session low. In the Globex, we two-ticked that to 61.50. We still have the gap below us. We did get to that trade zone and get a little bit of a bounce off of it twice, but there was still weakness. And again, we've got a trend day, and we've got this area between the 66 and the 69 area, which is a thin area that was not auctioned very well yesterday, and we spent most of the night in this area between the 69 and the 66. So let's take a look at that. So here's our overnight session. We opened inside of the range, two-ticked below the 62, and then the buyer stepped in, rotated us up to the LVN. They fought that LVN zone for most of the night, came back down, put in the higher low above the 61.50, and then rotated up, and we've been trading inside of this thin area of the profile there, trading a bit of a double distribution with the LVN at the 66.50, so just above the 66.25 LVN from yesterday. We just put in a double top at 68.75. I'm expecting we'd likely get some expansion here to the high. We've created a weak high at the 68. There is also a LVN right there that we're fighting at the 68.75. Above that, then we get into this upper distribution from yesterday, and where the VPOC was for most of the day until it got shifted down with the highest volume being in around the 73. And that's our 2-day microcomposite VPOC. If you look at the composite, our 2-day microcomposite is at 73, but this is a pretty blunt area. We did get a bearish engulfing day, so this is the first weakness, but we came right down to the 9 EMA and bounced. So let's just take a step back, take a look at the news. We don't have a lot of news today. We've got the Red Book coming out in 4 minutes, and then we've got manufacturing PMI, market composite PMI, and services PMI coming out at 9:45. Then 10 o'clock, we've got Richmond manufacturing and Richmond manufacturing shipments and Richmond services. So that's about the extent of the news today, except for the 4-week and the 2-week note auction. This is today, right? Yeah, this is today. Just want to make sure. And then we've got the weekly crude oil coming out at 3:30. I'm sorry, 4:30. So not a real big news day to think about. I think tomorrow is going to be bigger news. I think it's tomorrow that we've got. Is it tomorrow we've got? Let's just look at the weekly here. Today, Wednesday, we've got core durable goods is tomorrow, so that'll be the big one. And we've got housing price index and new home sales tomorrow. And then we get the Bank of Canada monetary policy, so it'll be interesting to see if Bank of Canada raises the rate in front of, I think it's next week's Fed is the day. Okay, so taking a look at the macro to micro, I always like to start my day working from a monthly down to an intraday. I use a simple candlestick chart with a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. And what I'm looking for is where we are in terms of the trend in the timelines in the different time frames, as well as looking at chart patterns and candlestick patterns. We have this upward sloping fork that we've been in the upper channel of. We continue to push up. We're in this weekly up channel as well. We're on our 12th month of one time framing up. This trend is very strong, and we don't even begin to challenge the trend until we get into the lower 2400s on the monthly. So any pullback is not the sky falling, it is just a normal pullback. Same thing with the weekly. We're one time framing up for the last 5 weeks. We do have the 9 EMA down here at 25.27, so we don't even test the trend on the weekly until we get into the lower 2500s. We do have the upper channel. We did put in a Globex all-time high on Sunday night at 77 and a quarter. So we have an unequalized high. We came up yesterday to the 25.76.75 and missed this by a couple ticks. So this still remains an unequalized all-time high. The RTH has a high probability of going back there and testing that number and putting in its own all-time high. Whether it's going to be today or not, do not know, but we certainly on the daily, if you look at the daily, we came down to the 9 EMA again and now have bounced. You can see that it wasn't quite a bearish engulfing on the full session as it was on the RTH, but we're coming right back and we're right near the mid of the prior day. We've got good slope, good separation. Price is paralleling the 9 nicely. The trend is very much intact on the larger time frames. As we move down to the intraday, you can see that here's yesterday's RTH session. We came down and tested this resistance that we had at the 62. They tested it and they took it back so far, and we're above the 9 and the 20 on the 4-hour and getting a possibility of a continuation pattern up. But there is one thing I want to point out that I have to take a look at it. I just meant to draw it up and I didn't do it a little bit earlier because I was a little late to my desk this morning. Here is a possible inverted cup and handle. Let's see if it validated. We needed to test that. Oops, wrong drawing tool. Yep. All right, so this is validated as a inverted cup and handle. It will invalidate itself if we get above basically 72. And if we take a look at the measured move, remember on inverted inverted cup and handles, you measure the handle, not the cup. All right, and our primary target is 25.55. We'll call it 25.56. Just writing that down in my journal here. And then the extended target is down here at the 52.75. I don't want to clear the whole drawing set. Let me just get rid of these for a second. So watch that that 72.50. If we get above that, that invalidates this cup and handle. If not, as long as we stay below that and we break the neckline down at the 61.50, the primary target is 55. The extended, 56, and the extended is 52.75. Going to the 1 hour, you can see again that we had a nice strong trend, good slope, good separation. Put in a Mr. Sneaky with a technical gap. They came back and closed that technical gap, fought the 9 EMA, and then finally broke above. And now we're looking to possible continuation. There is a naked cross right here at 74 and a quarter on the 1 hour, and we're putting in another one right here at 25.66. Really think that we're going to see a consolidation day today as we fill in this profile. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that the trend is started to the back to the upside. We got good slope, good separation. Got a naked cross up here at 74.50 on the 30-minute. Write that down on your journal. If we get above that 72 area, then that's my target right there at the 74.50 for a couple different reasons. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Again, on the smaller time frame, the 15-minute, good slope, good separation. Trend is started to the back to the upside, and then on the 5-minute, you can see that we've also got the trend to the upside. Did we just put up a? Yeah, we've just put in a new high here. We one ticked the 68.75. This might be a failed auction, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, most of the time frames are showing the trend is still very strong and very supportive to the upside. So taking a look at the structure, you can see that, again, I can't express this enough to follow the normal auction, okay? And we come up, just a little bit of a narrative so that you can see where I'm coming from. And why did my profile? Okay, here we go. So we gap up, we come up, we create balance, and we accept price. It was at 24.95.75. We said watch for them to shift that micro composite up to 97 to give us our first clue for breakout and acceptance of price higher. They break out of the value area, and then we accept value higher right here at the 25.05 area, and then we go into price discovery. And we come up, we get 2 days of balance. They accept that value higher at the 31.75, and then we gap up again. And then we go into the sideways consolidation, accepting value at the 25.49, and then just before they break out, they accept value above the value area at 59 and a quarter, and then we get the breakout. We put in the new all-time highs, and now they're trying to hold value at 73, but we came back. We didn't quite come back to the 59. It got to this LVN at 62 in the top of the microcomposite range and bounced. If we do not come up and accept the 73 and accept that value higher and get the continuation, then the first major destination is down here at the 59. And we did leave that naked close. The gap is still open at the 60-75 area. But the first retrace to pick up late buyers is going to be at the price that was accepted after they broke out of value in balance. And then once that is picked up, if it doesn't hold, then we're looking for a move back into the 53 and possibly even the 49 area. So it's not a lot to guide us here. We've got a couple measured moves that are still open above us. So let's take a look at our levels and start moving them over. First of all, just a quick note, our week open is 72.75. This is the Globex open. The RTH open is 76.75. I don't follow that. I always go with full session. Our weekly 20-period full session ATR is running at 34.7375. So off of the low that we put in overnight, which is our weekly low at 61.50, our upside weekly ATR is up here at 96.25, and off of the all-time high that was put in, our weekly downside ATR target is down here at 42.75, and that's right by our key line in the sand. So if we break the weekly, we're breaking below the 43, which is our key line in the sand, and I'd be looking for a bigger pullback down into this other gap area down here in the low 30s. Our daily ATR is running at 1074. So off of the low overnight, our daily upside ATR target is 72.25, which is right at our just 2 ticks below our weekly open and 1 tick above the IB high and the value area high from yesterday's session. Our overnight high being 69 is going to adjust this slightly to 58.25. So our daily downside ATR target is 58.25. So we have normal range to test below the 62 down to the 58 and up to the IB high and where the VPOC was for most of the day, our 2-day microcomposite VPOC, which is at 73. So taking our levels overnight, our overnight high 69, our overnight low 61.50. Our VPOC is not likely going to change 25.65.50, which is just below that LVN. And there's a little bit of an LVN right here at the 66.50, and which is just above the 66.25, and the range low from the prior day on Friday. So I'm going to be using the 66 as my over-under line. Basically what that means is, my bias shifts from longs to shorts when we get under the over-under line. But right now, my bias is to the upside and the continuation of the trend. And then we have this this large LVN zone with the center being at the 68.25. But I'm going to use the midpoint from yesterday at 69.50 as a trade level. Above that, I'm targeting the IB high and the week open and the daily upside ATR target with an extended target up at that 73.25. I'm actually going to use 73 because that is the 2-day microcomposite VPOC. And then 74 will be another area of add-ons to go for the all-time high. And the all-time high is up here at 77.25. And this is an unequalized all-time high. So I'm still expecting that to be taken out. And then we have measured moves at 25.80 and 25.87. Below, we get below the 66 in the overnight VPOC at 65.50. I'm looking for a target down here at the 63s and to move back into this lower distribution and a move to close this gap. And then below the VPOC is the value area low. I'm going to use 62.50 because I don't think the 62 is going to hold because it's a weak low, and I'm targeting the 61.50 with the 60.50 just below. And then the major target below right now, the next big target below is 59.25. Oh, can't type today. Okay, and then all our levels below that all remain the same. I've moved the line of the key line in the sand up from 55. The reason being that's up from 43 is because and I'm actually going to adjust it now at 55.75, which is the value area high of the microcomposite that we just broke out of on Friday. That key line in the sand gets shifted slightly. You know, I'm really watching this 43 down here, but we're nowhere near it right now. So I'm going to use the 55 value area high as a key line in the sand, because below that I'm expecting to move back into that 49 and back into the balance that we just broke out of. So in terms of trade plans, you know, hypothesis, whatever you want to call them, scenarios, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a rotational day. So both my hypo 1 and hypo 2 are going to be pretty well equally weighted. It's just a matter of which side takes control first. But basically, I'm looking for a day that's going to fill in this profile, an inside day between the 72 and the 63s, and basically trading in a range. So I'm looking for an open auction in range, in value. I'm looking for a push up to take out the overnight high, and somewhere between the 69 and the 73, I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in, rotate us down through this this low volume area, chopping with some decent rotations inside of here, and then a break below that 66 and a push down into the 63.50, and I'm looking to close somewhere down here in hypo 1. Hypo 2 is the opposite. We leave the overnight high alone, a push down into the 63 area, possibly take out the overnight low and this naked VPOC somewhere between the 63 and the 59. I'm looking for responsive buyers to step in and rotate us back up, fight the 66 and push up through to the 69 and actually take out the overnight high and overnight low. It is low probability. It's only 28%, but based on the auction right now, I'm thinking we're going to get a consolidation day and a continuation of this balance here around the 73. Hypo 3 is going to be an open auction in range, failure to take out the naked VPOC, finding buyers somewhere between the 66 and 64, rotate us up through the LVN zone, chop around the overnight high and then push up into the 73 and then create a higher low and push up and equalize that all-time high, get a small breakout and then come back down and close somewhere around the 73. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is an open auction in range, a failure to get into the upper distribution, move down into the 63, chop around, fail, get continuation down to this 59, chop around the 59.60 area, and then push down into that 55.75 with possibly a late day probe down into the 53. And those are my four main hypotheses. Again, don't know what the market's going to do, but mainly look for a rotational day, consolidation day, and not looking for a trend day today. Taking a look at gold. Whoops. Get the right chart open. Gold continues to try to base down here around the 75.80s. This was a really nice trade yesterday. Basically made my day. I did get long at the 75.80, and we rode it up into the 80 range. Overnight, we've come back down. We didn't quite get back down to the 75.80. We got the low of 76.80. Our two-day balance has our most traded price at that 75.80, 76 area. Our just going to extend this profile out just a bit, and our key level to watch today is going to be that 83 level again. If we can come up here and accept this this 82, 50 to 83, then I'm looking for the continuation back up into the 93s. If not, I'm looking for it to come back to the 78, 75.80, and I'm not expecting it to hold this time. And we talked about this. We came down here and we picked up buyers yesterday. If they come back down here, we're not likely to find the same buyers, and they're likely going to have to come down with the next big target down here at 63. Anything below 63, the next big target, again, is going to be down in that 1250, 1249, 48 area. So that's what I'm looking at in gold. As always, that's going to complete our pre-market session. Trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.